Welcome back to National EMTV News. The Madang Town Market, funded with the assistance from Japan, with counterpart funding from the PNG government through the National Fisheries Authority, is yet to open its doors to the Madang public. The 26 million kina market was officially opened last Friday. Rachel Shise in Madang with this report.
The market, completed earlier this year, was finally opened officially last Friday. The ceremony started very late, but the ribbon was finally cut and the guests toured the market.
Last March, the groundbreaking ceremony. Since then, only took 1 year time to complete all these beautiful buildings. And this time, we had finally this opening ceremony. It has been a long waiting opening ceremony.
The Madang Governor Jim Kass was given a key by the National Fisheries Authority Minister Mao Zeming as a symbol of handing over the market to the Madang provincial government.
Milatoksala Minister, the Fisheries Deputy Prime Minister, the Fisheries Minister, also Madang provincial government, is now ready to policy. Long Toksala, you also be ready long look at display infrastructure. You know not bagar up and by stop long good plan.
The Madang Open member Nixon Duban, on the other hand, took the opportunity and made an appeal on behalf of the landowners to the Japanese ambassador.
We are so excited. We just got one or two little requests. I hope you look at bridges and roads for our people who actually contributed the most and very, very uncommon hardwood you cannot find anywhere in the world. They contributed to the Japanese economy.
Also present was the Deputy Prime Minister, Sir Leo Dion, who assured that the country will see more infrastructural developments like this market from development partners like JICA.
It is through this infrastructure development such as Madang Town Market, Webek Town Market, and others yet to come are being made possible through the support from our development partners, such as Japan International Cooperation Agency, that we are able to deliver basic services and economic development to the 8 million people of this nation, and particularly to the rural population where more than 80% of our people live.
Rachel Shise, National EMTV News, Madang.
Following international recognition of high-quality cocoa production in the Lower Watut area, there has been renewed interest in the industry from international exporters, offering better markets for local farmers who grow quality cocoa beans. Local exporters have become wary of the competition and are calling for support from farmers. Bethany Herman with this report.
When a little-known cooperative in the Lower Watut area won an International Cocoa Excellence Award in Paris, it brought to attention Papua New Guinea's potential in cocoa export and the lack of support the industry has received over the years. Whilst cooperative founder Francis Anton was behind the quality beans that put Papua New Guinea fifth in the Cocoa of Excellence International Award.
All Papua New Guinea but or the Papua New Guinea drawing on all simple walls as well. Now walls come up now passport in Chalong wall not like a cow. I'm like say what and Jelly Lawat as all line like Mark look at me plan all Boss blow look him long. Look at my newspaper now. I'm talking about line long yellow to by the check up long. Chairman bro like some can by me to and the man and by me bellow one the mole.
There is renewed interest in cocoa and the stakes are high. International exporters want a slice of the quality cocoa that's still untapped, and local exporters are wary of the competition. Exporters also are bidding for a slice of the Wafi Golpu Project Cocoa Sustainability Program that's going to happen as the mine develops. On the 22nd of last month, longtime PNG cocoa exporter Eggmark released an advert calling for support from local farmers. Eggmark has a long history in PNG's cocoa industry, and in the last 8 years of the Port Bora disease, it has stood with farmers during very low export volumes. Today, numbers are picking up and so is competition. Though the company welcomes that competition, Agmark's export manager James Narokai says foreign exporters are here to make money and not invest into the economy.
Whereas most overseas companies will be here and they won't invest a lot into the cocoa industry in PNG. They more or less want to be here to make money.
Agmark says they are making a strong representation of local exporters and to make sure that the revenue from the sale of cocoa overseas comes back to PNG. But some agribusiness experts say that international cocoa exporters have access to European markets and that revenue coming from cocoa exports into the country is guaranteed. While there is the competition between the local and international exporter, either way it is good for the local farmer who is looking for a better price to sell his or her cocoa beans. Bethany Harriman, National EMTV News, Lae.
A 23 million kina agriculture project in Enga province is seen as a way of ending tribal conflicts in the province. Enga Governor Sir Peter Ipata said it is time for his people to lay down their weapons and take ownership of services that will change the face of Enga province.
For years, tribal conflicts in Enga province has destroyed many communities and displaced hundreds. Enga, the only province that has one common language, still suffers from this social issue that has affected their progress as a province. However, attempts to curb tribal fighting are slowly coming into effect, with education as the province's main drive for development.
You mean last place, lo Papua New Guinea. Because Mibla last, Mibla must come up with some policy, some kind thing. In a plong kissing me last place, you may online stop Canada, but you may can go stop one kind. One time all Narbla or Brother Susa, lo Papua New Guinea.
Enga Governor Sir Peter Ipata, who has been governor for almost 2 decades, said education is the only key that will change Enga.
Enga inonap sanis, Enga inonap golo one blahap. Suppose or pigini bloimi, inokisim sabe.
Today, the province is embarking on agriculture as one of its main economic development drive. The launching of the Enga Agro Training Center last week marks the start of this new era. The 23 million kina project will be built at Taluma, in the Layagam area, which is commonly known for tribal fights. And the Enga provincial government is hoping this project will unite the people and end tribal fighting.
Time you bla lusim kan, mi bla put him narbla something lan blue, put him on bla sapolo, put him on bla peno, pencil so that instead of fighting and stuff, you bla work manina, concentrate on one bla all English all call him productive na worthwhile economic activity. So you bla can invest long. Future blow you play instead of killing you play. So this la project, you know, I'm stop long talum, but the impact long this la project, but you all get high altitude areas long hang on if film.
Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
Sandy Robson, the lone female kayaker from Australia, has arrived in Lae this morning. Robson has been kayaking alone from Germany to Australia for almost 5 years. PNG is the 19th country she is passing through on her way back to Australia.
Sandy Robson paddled into the Lae harbour just after 9 a.m. She was escorted by a consort vessel onto shore, where she was greeted by the regional marketing manager of Consort, Caroline Pia Afu.
Hi Sandy, Caroline.
Robson travelled in from Medang. It took several days to get through trying conditions along the long stretch of coastline.
I did have some problems at Sasano and near Aitape with some people trying to stop me on the sea, and that was pretty scary. So I realised that I need to get the support boat just to give me that extra bit of help, and I try and get local people to help me with that so they know all the villages along the way.
Robson was motivated by a German canoeist, Oscar Speck, who made a historic kayak journey in the 1930s. Robson says, though encountering challenges through a journey in PNG, she is seeing these as stepping stones to further pursue a vision. She said she has received a lot of assistance from the local villages along the coast of PNG. She further said that as a female kayaker sailing alone, she has experiences doing it as it is not her first time.
Kayaking alone is actually pretty peaceful. I'm a very experienced paddler, but in PNG I've had to get a support boat to shadow me around the coast just for a little bit of extra security.
According to Robson's experience, she said the coast of PNG is shallow compared to other countries. Robson said everyone should make an effort in taking care of the sea in order to protect the marine life. She has planned to extend her vision by writing a book about her journey as a solo female kayaker.
I'm trying to encourage people to have more awareness about nature and the marine environment, not to put plastic in the sea.
Julie Badwi Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at 0.3160 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying 0.3085 US dollars, 0.4101 Australian dollars, 0.2741 euro and 31.3 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa and copra closed the day higher. Palm oil closed lower, crude oil and copper closed the day higher. And on the stock markets, the Dow Jones closed 19 points higher, the ASX closed 27 points higher, and the All Ordinaries closed 30 points higher. Here with National EMTV News, more local and international news after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Western Province Police are serious about eliminating domestic violence incidents among its members. Provincial Police Commander Joe Puri told MTV they arrested 2 young constables in Tabobil because they assaulted their wives. One of the victims was a policewoman. PPC Puri said as this year is the year of discipline, domestic violence within the police force will not be tolerated. He also urged supervisors of young recruits to be effective mentors and counselors. The National Doctors Association has condemned the rape of a female medical worker over the weekend at her 4-mile residence in Port Moresby. This incident happened within a week while the association was in mourning over the death of its vice president, the late Dr. Alphonse Rongap, who was murdered in Lae last weekend. NDA President Dr. James Naipau said the female doctor had recently moved to her new home where the incident occurred. Port Moresby police are aware of the incident and are yet to make arrests. They have since requested that the doctor's identity not be released to the public. Morobe Governor Kelly Naru says the call to terminate Unitec Vice Chancellor Dr. Albert Schramm and the Lae Metropolitan Commander Anthony Wagambi will not help solve the current situation the city is facing. Naru's comment comes after a petition was presented to the Imbongu MP Francis Awesa by relatives of a first-year student who was killed at the Unitec campus. Among several points raised, the relatives are demanding the state to remove the Lae Metropolitan Commander and the University Vice Chancellor.
After a turbulent month of student unrest in Lae, it exploded with the killing of a first-year student, Graham Romanong, in his room. The killing has prompted a call by the Imbongu MP, Francis Awesa, for the removal of the Metropolitan Superintendent, Anthony Wagambi, and Unitec Vice Chancellor, Dr. Albert Schramm. The Morobe Governor Kelly Naru today came to the defense of the 2 men, saying the focus should be on looking at ways of how they can be assisted.
I believe that call is not a reasonable call to make.
Since the killing of Graham Romanong, various parties have attempted to blame the university administration for the security and the Metropolitan Superintendent for not taking tougher stand. But there is a general consensus, especially in Lae City, who feel that Wagambi has maintained a high level of professionalism amidst heightened tension.
This gentleman has done a marvelous job. His policing and the effectiveness of his management of law and order crisis that we have had in the city is second to none.
Also today, the Assistant Police Commissioner for Mumase Region, Peter Guinness, came to the defense of Wagambi.
what had happened in the last couple of weeks, in the last month leading to the death, I think Lay Police have done extremely well. They've done extremely well in terms of maintaining order, both here in Lay City and as well as in the campus. What had happened was an incident that took all of us by surprise.
Naru says for now, Chief Superintendent Anthony Wagambi and Vice Chancellor Dr. Albert Schramm will need more support to make their job easier. The university has informed the Morobe governor they have put in some temporary measures in order to try and see through the academic year. Martha Lewis, National EMTV News, Lay.
4 UPNG students arrested on June the 24th and charged for unlawful use of a motor vehicle appeared for mention at the Waigani Committal Court today. They are Brendan Kisa, Frank Luai and Elijah Nere from Wabeg in Enga Province and Divinal Maros from Maprik in East Sepik Province. On June the 24th, they were seen driving a Toyota Camry sedan belonging to Minihi Motors. It was alleged that they did not get the owner's consent before using the vehicle. Senior Magistrate Cosmas Bidar told the 4 that the car was reported stolen a month ago before they were arrested. However, Laken Aguilo, lawyer representing the 4, denied the allegations and said they were unlawfully charged and detained at the police station. Aguilo clarified publicly that the arrest was not related to the burning down of vehicles and buildings at the UPNG main campus. The management at University of Goroka has scheduled provincial visits to meet provincial administrations, parents and students. The visit is purposely to brief stakeholders on the mediation process the university has planned. In a statement, UOG Vice-Chancellor Dr. Musawe Sinabare says students will be advised to return to the campus by July the 11th, 2016.
It's been almost 3 weeks since student factions clashed at the University of Goroka, resulting in over 40 students being hospitalized. But the swift actions taken by the university management has seen normalcy return to the campus. Among the processes taken by the university management is the establishment of an independent investigation commission, formation of a reconciliation committee, zero tolerance policy on alcohol on campus, police to maintain presence on campus, and students to return and complete 2016 academic year. Apart from that, students will be receiving pastoral and counseling sessions at the campus upon their return. The visitation to provinces will begin with Eastern Highlands tomorrow, Simbu and Jiwaka on Wednesday, followed by a joint meeting with Western, Southern, Hela and Henga provinces in Mount Agan on Thursday. A combined reconciliation ceremony among the different parties is expected at the campus next week. Jack Lapave Jr. National EMTV News.
Emmanuel Primary School in Maprik District, East Sepik Province celebrated the opening of 3 new double classroom buildings funded by Maprik DSIP last Friday. An initiative of local MP John Simon, the school was established in 2007 and has since been using only classrooms made from bush materials. The milestone was celebrated by the people of Quimbu 1-4 in the Yamil Tamwai LLG.
Parents of Quimbu 1-4 in the Yamil Tamawi area have long struggled to see through their children's education. Emmanuel Primary School, according to locals, was built on what was swampland. Since opening its doors in 2007, the school has been maintained by the community's drive to see their children get an education for a brighter future. Teachers, students and parents of Emmanuel Primary School were very proud recipients of these 3 double classroom buildings, a milestone achieved by the school.
But Quimbu Primary School, and is setting now as one of the model school inside of Maprik District. We are looking at the school of Sam.
Head teacher Adam Ayokma at the opening ceremony last Friday acknowledged the district member's presence and initiative to give his school the boost it has long needed.
So thank you very much. Without you, we plan na block this pa. Thank you, we plan making la funding na poropod na. Kami plan lugan sem. Now Emmanuel Primary School na bay na nablo staff na school lo house more tapat na miblo pa staff lo more in protected development. So thank you.
Apart from Emmanuel Primary School receiving this facelift, Maprik is also anticipating the opening of a resource center in the heart of the Maprik township before the end of the year. As part of the opening ceremony, the Quimbu community took a step further in celebration in the act of burning down an old classroom building. Lorraine Gabina, National EMTV News.
More than 700 youth of the Christian Brethren Church of Papua New Guinea celebrated the church's 67th National Youth Convention in Port Moresby. The purpose of this event, gathering and empowering youth spiritually and to discourage them from causing trouble.
This morning, over 700 participants from the Christian Brethren Church of Papua New Guinea marched streets of Port Moresby celebrating the opening of the church's 67th National Youth Convention. The police brass band led the marches from Unagi Oval to the St. John Guy's Indoor Complex. Participants in this week-long convention came from Ela, Enga, East and West Sipi, Morobe, Western Islands, Jiwaka and the nation's capital. CBC National Youth Vice Chairman John Poge said this initiative is part of the church ministry to spiritually empower youth.
Throughout the country, especially those who are connected with the churches and all that, and the national leaders in the government sectors or the non-government sectors in the churches, if they can invest a lot, most of their efforts and input in the youth development areas, that would bring positive change in the society and in the country.
It is important to gather youth because if they are ignored, they will resort to violence and trouble. On that note, he is calling on leaders to invest in youth development to bring changes to the country. Events Chairman Peter Warili, responding to the current political situation, said the aim is to pray for humbleness so that people would have respect and let the God's will lead this nation.
As a Christian, is to pray for the humbleness, calmness, respect each other, and let God's will lead the nation and the parliamentarians of this nation.
Apart from spiritual education, youth will also be educated on social, political and law and order issues. Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
Turning overseas now, and residents of the Baghdad district of Karada gathered in the streets yesterday to pray for the victims of 2 bomb attacks. Shiites, Sunnis and Christians wept and lit candles together at the scene of one of the blasts.
Nearly 120 people were killed and 200 wounded in the twin attacks, most of them in a busy shopping area as residents celebrated Ramadan, police and medical sources said yesterday. The toll climbed during the day as rescuers pulled out more bodies from under the rubble and people succumbed to their injuries. In a second attack, a roadside bomb also blew up around midnight in a market in Al-Shab, a Shiite district in the north of the capital, killing at least 2 people, police and medical sources said. In the central Karada district, a refrigerator truck packed with explosives blew up, killing 115 people and injuring at least 200. Karada was busy at the time as Iraqis eat out and shop late during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan, which ends next week with the Eid al-Fitr festival. At least 4 buildings were severely damaged or partly collapsed, including a shopping mall believed to be the target, and gutted cars were scattered all around. Karada is a largely Shia district with a small Christian community and a few Sunni mosques. The attack on the district shopping area is the deadliest since US-backed Iraqi forces last month scored a major victory when it dislodged Islamic State from their stronghold of Fallujah, an hour's drive west of the capital. It is also the deadliest so far this year. Lorraine Gabina, EMTV World News.
Trukai Sports is next. Toya Whistle on her way to Rio, and Team Marbe gets funding for the upcoming PNG Games. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. PNG sprint queen Toya Whistle is a step ahead of a Rio contender and Australia's fastest female sprinter Sally Pearson after she announced her withdrawal from the Rio Olympics following several injury concerns from recent international tournaments. This has given PNG's Toya Whistle a chance and a foot forward on the track prior to the Games. Both Toya and Theo Pinia will represent PNG at the upcoming Olympics. Godwin Eki reports.
After racing in the recent National Athletics Championships in Leh, Toya Whistle has every right to smile, knowing she is now the country's fastest female sprinter after she beat the former Queen of Tracks Mai Koime by just 1/100th of a second. Toya, who's winning races and pocketing medals at the Australian Championships, has made a step forward after being given the opportunity by Australian sprinter Sally Pearson's withdrawal from the Rio Olympics. Pearson, who won gold at London in 2012 and silver at Beijing, will unfortunately miss out on this year's Rio Games, saying it is the biggest sporting event in the world that she is going to miss out on. This announcement came shortly after Pearson started experiencing torn calves and broken bones. Meanwhile, Whistle has taken every opportunity to put together all her recent times and records she has achieved recently on track in preparations for the Brazil Games. Toya will be joined by Tio Piniao, and the two will represent the code of athletics and the country at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Brazil. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Morobe Governor Kelly Naru has presented 1 million kina for transport and other costs for Team Morobe. The governor said Morobe aims to retain its title as champion of the PNG Games. Morobe is fielding a large team, which includes various codes. Training has already begun for various sports who hope to come back with medals. All the best to Team Morobe. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Hekari franchise owner John Capinato is challenging incumbent PNG FA president David Chung for the code's top job. Both candidates have detailed their plans for the future of the sport in the country, exactly 1 month away from the presidential elections. In a media release last week, current President Chung detailed his plans going forward, whilst challenger Capinato spoke to EMTV on Saturday.
John Capinato, Hekari franchise owner, stands as the only candidate against David Chung and is confident that he has the support of a number of PNG football's member associations in his bid to become president.
So with that support, that's the belief that I have, that if they have faith in me, I have to take up that responsibility and also give the challenge to David and what the presidents think of a new leadership.
Capinato is no stranger to success, having guided his club Hekari United to multiple National Soccer League titles, as well as an Oceania Champions League trophy, and was at one stage PNGFA's vice president himself. And this success is something he feels he can transcend to running football in the largest country in the Pacific.
What has happened already, we can step on that and get it further to a new heights. And I think we can do that and we can change it. I did it at a club level. I think I can do it in the FA level. And with your support and with your belief in me, we can take football further.
The man who stands in his way, however, is FIFA Executive Vice President and OFC and PNGFA President David Chung. Chung himself outlined achievements that PNGFA has reached to date, and these were detailed in a press release last week, with Chung adamant that financial transparency was a priority. On top of that, various facility and infrastructural achievements, such as the construction of a new football academy in Kimbe, West New Britain Province, and the proposed renovation of the current setup in Leh. Chung has also credited the success of the men's national team during the OFC Nations Cup and the women's 4-in-a-row gold medal win to his coaching and mentoring program that PNGFA embarked on during his tenure. This, however, is refuted by John Capinato, who states that the performances of both national teams were attributed to the team's players and coaching staff's desire to do well.
And recently our men's national team, I think those guys had a discipline to walk through and get to the final. It's a miracle. And I think a lot of us stays behind the scene in ensuring that they're motivated.
Both men, however, aspire to have more involvement with PNGFA's many member associations throughout the country and have more youth development and participation programs. Capinato does, however, have a slight hold over David Chung. After 12 years at the helm of arguably one of the biggest sporting associations in the country, the calls for change have been coming from various stakeholders throughout PNG. The elections for the presidential post will be held in early August, and all eyes will be on Kimbe to see who emerges as the new head of Papua New Guinea's Football Association. Jeremy Mogi, National, EMTV Sports.
To football abroad now, and France have advanced to the semi-finals of the UEFA Euro 2016 competition after a 5-2 thrashing of Iceland. Iceland's fairy tale run ended after a blistering first half performance by Le Bleu as France cruised throughout the match. France will now face Germany, who defeated Italy in a similar fashion over the weekend. And that ends True Kai Sports. We'll have for you the weather details when we come back.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Here's a look at the weather for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Some showers expected in Port Moresby, Kerma, Alotau and Popondetta. Light showers in Daro. To the Momasi region, showers in Ley, rain in Wau. Showers and thunderstorms expected in Madang, Wiebeek and Vanimo. To the New Guinea Islands region, rain and thunderstorms for Lorengau, mostly fine in Kayaking, Kokopo and Rabaul. Showers and thunderstorms expected in Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, light rain and morning fog expected in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg. Before we go, recapping our main top stories again. A resolution passed by the Morbe Provincial House of Assembly to pursue legal proceedings for LLG presidents. Kumul Mining Limited bids for BCL's 17.4% shares, and Governors' Conference in Madang to discuss trade with Indonesia. And that's how we begin another working week. From the EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.